We're live. Yay.
Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome. And what do you think?
What do I think? I'm excited to talk to you guys today. We're going to just kind of ramble until a couple more people get on board. But thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. It's hot. Feels like summer.
It's very hot, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's still locked in their houses though, so you'd think you would start seeing spring breakers and people out on vacation.
The
but,
middle of the world in America is opening up, which makes me very happy for them. Happy we're progressing.
I think it goes county to county, town to town. It just differs. Some places don't let you go in to a gas station without a mask on, and some people are shaking hands and hugging still.
I know.
Just depends where you're at. But the mindset that I've learned is that acting like everything is normal, but taking precautions
Yeah.
is healthy for me, has been healthy for me. Instead of waiting for when it ends, I'm just like, this is
Yeah.
the way it is. I'm going to take precautions, wash my hands, but I'm not going to be scared to live my life and move around and do certain things. That's really helped my stress level go skyrocket downward.
Yeah, I think when you're proactive in situations like this where there's so much unknown and uncertainty, it just empowers you. And I prefer an empowered stance rather than like a wait and see stance.
Yeah.
Because I go crazy in that situation.
It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, if everyone is on, I think we can talk about the topic if you
Well,
already
let's
know it. Or you wanna
let's
wait?
start out with talking about the virtual camp real quick, because we want to encourage you guys. If you guys aren't part of it, if you are, thank you for being part of our first ever virtual training camp with 1440. We are in week 3, the third day of the third week, and it's been incredible. We have 260 campers, and they are committed. They're devoted. They're showing up every single day and training themselves body, mind, spirit, and Bali, and it's rad.
It's one of the coolest, most rewarding things that I have ever been a part of in my entire life, without
Yeah.
a doubt. To watch the interaction between campers, coaches. Kerri and I are very much involved and responding to what people ask or things that they're putting up. The daily gratitude journal with the breathing with Kerri. It's all encompassing
Yeah.
of health and wellness, but training and expertise from people. There's 100 years between all of us in the volleyball world put together, and we're all putting our expertise together to create drills for individuals, for people that don't have a partner but their mom or dad can come out and help and toss a ball, or you go out there and do it by yourself. We're doing cone work, or you're doing footwork, and we lay it out every single week. 4 days, Monday through Thursday, volleyball, and Tuesday, Thursday, you have volleyball and a strength training program. And it's just super cool on how you all have been responding, and you that haven't been involved with it, then you got to sign up for Camp 2
Yeah.
ASAP, because it's
It starts
selling.
Monday. It starts Monday, May 11th.
And it starts Monday.
Yeah, go to p1440.camp if you want to check it out. And what I love so much is that we have little ones in this camp, and we have adults. We have a warrior cancer survivor. We have a gentleman who's busting his butt to get better at volleyball and to lose some weight. And so what's rad to me is that the principles by which we live our life are just focused on the basics, like taking care of the basics of our lives, and in volleyball, focusing on the fundamentals and strength, knowing the principles of strength training and proper movement and form. And what's cool about this program is that it meets you where you're at. So if you're a newbie, we're going to meet you there. If you're a veteran or an elite athlete like we are, it meets you there. And then you're going to get out of it as much as you put into it. But we put in a lot of curation, a lot of thought into the strength training block, into the volleyball. And our team at 1440 has been rad, and they've gotten so creative to create a program for you guys to just empower you and to teach you and to work with you. It's pretty fun.
And it's received so much traction from you guys that we are going to continue to make more and more and more, because
Yeah.
it's fun. It's what we believe in. It's not like we're trying to sell you a product that is paying us a sponsorship deal. This is us, and it reflects us and all of the things that our team brings through their experiences and their time. Like Tommy Knox has been doing weightlifting and strength training and health and wellness for as long as Kerri and I have been doing volleyball. So the experts that we have are very real. We believe in them. We've had him for 18 years. Stein Metzger, I've been whooping on him for I don't know how long. But he's a professional in his own right in many ways, as an athlete, as a coach. Love him. He's doing a great job. And then the team behind the scenes that you don't get to see is just as smooth and executes just as well as those other guys that you do get to see.
Yeah, everyone cares. That's rad. So P1448.camp, please check it out. All right, so you're leading the show today. What are we talking about, my love?
Today, Kerri asked me what she thought that I thought we should talk about on the show today. And I think that something that would be cool to talk about is because a lot of us volleyball players go into the summertime and we play, I don't know, it can be anywhere from 15 to 24 tournaments, and some of the juniors can play up to, I don't know how many tournaments you guys are playing, 30 to 50. So I thought it would be really cool to talk about some of the things that Kerri and I have done and still do if we're playing a tournament. Let's say, I think that most juniors tournaments and pro tournaments are a little different, where it would go Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we can give you both options, and then you can feel it out for yourself and see if you like it. But so if you're gonna play, if you're playing in a tournament Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you win the tournament, let's say, or you play on Sunday, some people will be able to use Sunday as a recovery day. So some of the questions that I have for you, honeys, because people want to know, is when you win the tournament and you win the gold medal and you have another tournament coming up that week that's going to start on Friday, I want to know what happens on Sunday after the award ceremony. You go and eat, you go and eat some food, and then what does it look like for the week? What does Monday look like, Tuesday, etc.?
Yeah, well, first of all, I can't wait to get back to the winner's circle. The goal is always to play on the last day, and it's been a while. So, Brookie, if you're watching, I can't wait. Yeah, so I fundamentally believe, and we've learned through Tommy, that at least one day a week off is important. Even tournament week, between tournaments, off-season, pre-season, we always take one day a week off. That's 24 hours. And so after a tournament, we finish on Sunday, we go have a celebration dinner. We're a little bit more free when we eat after we compete, because I don't have to worry about digesting, and I can eat more rich foods and celebrate. So that's kind of a celebratory dinner. We hydrate, because after a tournament, we're all very depleted in minerals and liquids. That's a big priority, and then generally pass out pretty early. Mondays, what I like to do is to have a training day, not volleyball, but a training day with my girl, Kerri Walsh Jennings. And it's kind of like a day to get the lactic acid out, to keep the body moving, and just to flush out all of this distress over the weekend. And generally it's a beach workout, and we'll jog, we'll get long, it's more Pilates centric, and it's for an hour and a bit, and it's just literally about detoxing and cleansing and getting back in touch with my body. Walking and jogging is kind of a meditation, and it helps put you back into alignment. And so I lean on my girl Kerri to do that on Mondays. Tuesday would then be off. Wednesday, we're playing on Friday.
Yep.
So Tuesday's off. Wednesday, Thursday would be practice as usual. Maybe a little bit shorter. Usually we go 2 hours of practice. Maybe it'd be a little bit shorter, more focused, but really intense. Thursday would be kind of a serve and pass.
So you'd go maybe rather than a 2-hour practice, you'd go a little more intense practice, an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes.
Sure.
With you and your partner.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of touches when it's just two people. If there's another team there, 2 hours is not that bad. When it's just two of you, an hour and 15, hour and 30 is plenty.
Well, what I like about what you and Kyoto are having us do is that we're going shorter. Like, my whole career I've gone practice for 3 hours a pop, which is a lifetime on the beach, and it's really gnarly to focus for 3 hours. So you guys have shortened our practices, and it makes us hit the ground running in the beginning. We have to be focused and dialed in, and it kind of leaves you wanting more. So I really like that mentality. So yeah, so we'd practice Wednesday, Thursday. Friday would be like a serve and pass. Generally the day before a tournament, I start to get kind of tight and nervous and anxious because I want to compete. And I find a way to kind of combat that is just to get on the sand and to have a nice, easy, light serve and pass. And if we do go with another team, then we can do some live drills, but we're not really competing. We're just kind of getting rid of our energy, our nervous energy, and getting set on, on the venue sand, getting used to it. But that's usually really short, an hour, hour and 15 maximum. And then it's
Thursday.
On Thursday, the day before the tournament. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is go time. And generally, I like to have one good lift a week. In season, I make sure, Tommy's advised me, one good lift a week will help me maintain strength. I don't want to build strength during season. I want to maintain it. My concern is not building, so I want to maintain. And so I would lift either on that Monday or that Wednesday before a tournament.
And so she said 1 day of rest for this tournament time, when there's back-to-back tournaments and you're going. When you're lifting in the strength training time from January to May or whatever it is, your normal rest is what Tommy has given us, is 2 days of actual rest where you don't do anything. You can go for a walk or do something, but it was really hard for us for a long time to do that. So I would pick like a Thursday and a Sunday sometimes, or I would do Saturday, Sunday if it was the off season, as far as like preseason, off season, where we were ramping up for tournaments. But during this time, don't switch the two. You can rest, like the way I look at it, what Kerri was saying was you're going a little bit on this 1 day, and then you're lifting at least once a week. I have a different plan where I lift on Monday after a tournament if I can. I would do it differently sometimes, but I would try to get that. If I lost on Saturday, you didn't have to lose that much on Saturday. So if I lost on Saturday, I made sure that I tried to get 2 lifts in that week so that I could get stronger and do better in the next tournament, whether it was the one the next weekend or the one 2 weeks from there. But I was always constantly trying to build. So if you lose on Saturday, don't just ditch that day and get on the same plan as somebody that's winning, on Sunday. Push yourself to get 2 in, feel out where you're at. One thing that we will be talking about in future virtual training camps is the diet and the things that we're putting in our bodies during that week and the actual workouts that we're doing. So that's an awesome thing that we're going to be providing in those virtual camps as well, because just running through this right now for you guys to get a snapshot when these tournaments start up is it's really important to keep that 1 day of lift in, and to figure out how many hours of volleyball you're getting. So if you have a test, a major like midterm or whatever it is, and you study for 2 hours a day and take 2 days off and study 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're going to be way better at retaining that information than if you put 10 hours in one night like we all did. Which is just not smart. It's not the way to do it. So, you can't put in 2 hardcore hours of volleyball and then go and do a double day and do 2 more and think that you're just getting on top of everybody and pushing harder, because there's smart training and there's not so smart training. And for me, you're not getting the technique in the right form, and your mind is starting to go in other places. You're not focused as much. So that's something that we're trying to focus on with Brooke and Kerri, is we want to get them in and out where they leave and they're going, man, I had another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I know. We're going to see you at 4 p.m. today, and you're going to get 45 minutes in at 4 p.m. So it all balances out. What about like, I seen you many times. We'd be on FaceTime and you have your on a Saturday night, you're going to play the next day, semifinals and final, and your feet are up on the wall.
Just letting the blood get out of my feet, flush my legs a little bit. It's kind of natural Normatec, just, get the energy moving.
The traveling Normatec pants that blow up and squeeze your legs. Instead, you can put your feet up on a wall. Something cool that Tommy taught me was cold shower, 30 seconds warm, and go back to the cold. And then you get kind of it brings you alive. That cold water, something about it is really cool. And that's another thing we're going to address in the virtual camps.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and there's also a mental preparation as you get closer to tournament time, But I think this is what we're covering in camp, and this is how you and I live our lives. That we really want to be consistent in what we do, right? We don't want to, like you just said, like cram 10 hours of work into one day because we're trying to catch up or we're trying to overcompensate for what we didn't do on the other days. We want to be mindful every day, and work on our mindset, work on our self-talk every single day, work on our fundamentals every day, and just be all there where we're at, and yeah, and that's nutrition as well. I don't change my diet drastically ever. I consistently eat as clean as I can. If anything, as I get closer to tournament time, game day, I eat more simple because I don't want to give my body a lot to digest and have to work on that. And I always get belly aches before I play because I get so excited and nervous. So my diet changes a little bit, but fundamentally I'm always focused on my protein, my hydration, and having just kind of that rainbow of colors that's going to fortify me and prepare me for battle.
So, if you lose on Saturday, which don't, or Friday,
Ooh, ouchie.
then you're going to train those days and you're going to give yourself ample
Real quick,
time for rest.
the NBA guys who don't play, after the games, that's why you always see them on the bikes or at halftime because they're burning the calories and they're staying in shape. And Eric, our trainer, just taught me that. Like sometimes, it's like you lose early and you're like, good, I can rest now and I'll be more prepared. But it's like, no, you got to stay hungry and physical and not lose that.
You go back. Like if I lost on Saturday, I was touching the ball over in Europe with the guys that lost in the qualifier or guys that lost on Saturday, same as us. And you start training right away and you put that behind you. You can go and watch the tournament, but really your mind is on the next one. What do I need to do on Monday? Or do I lift on Saturday? You lift on Sunday, I mean. And then you get after it on Monday, play volleyball, and then you can lift again on Tuesday because it's been 48 hours. And then you got Wednesday, Thursday to do what you want. I would touch the ball for 30 minutes on Thursday before I played in a tournament on Friday. And everyone's like, should we play a game? Should we do this? And I'd be like, we'll play a game to 7. And we'd pepper and warm up and do our warm up and jog around, and then we'd play like a game to 7, and you'd leave hungry, and I'd be like, I can't wait for tomorrow. So I hope that helps.
Yay.
And we got a couple questions.
Yeah. So you guys who have been submitting questions every time, thank you so much. And Miss Lisa has been taking track, so thank you guys.
Yes.
We got 3 questions.
Okay, this one is from Joseph Buschetti. Can Kerri share her theme of 3 Bs to everyone and how she and Misty implemented that mindset to overcome the Chinese team when it was raining in Beijing?
Oh, how
to
cute.
win the gold medal?
Yeah, well, breathe, believe, battle is a mantra that Troy Tanner gave to Misty and I. Troy coached Casey at BYU. He's just a champion of a human being. He taught me so much about life and about sport and just how to be in the moment. He is just a Zen master, and he taught Misty and I breathe, believe, battle. And he's like, if you do those 3 things, you're gonna have everything you need. If you own your breath, you're in the moment, and if you own your breath, you can handle what's around you. If you're in the moment, that's where your point of power is. Believe. If you believe, then you always have a chance. And you have to be unconditional in your belief in yourself, in your team, and the possibility of coming back. And I really love the belief factor in it because it's really important. And then battle. He always was like, expect to dominate, but be prepared to battle and be prepared to do whatever it takes. And those 3 things together, it's like body, mind, and spirit, right? That to me is what Jedis are made of, and it fortified us. We would say it all the time. When we played the Chinese in China in the finals, it's dumping rain. That was just part of our habitual talk. It was part of our language as a team. Breathe, believe, battle. And for me, I still use it. I will use it for my entire life, and Troy has allowed me to share it with the world, and I'm so grateful because it's hard to find 3 more powerful words together. I love you and breathe, believe, battle. Got it all.
And oftentimes Kerri would write those words on her hand, so right now you hear it and you're like, oh, I get it, it's cool. Write the word breathe on your hand with a little ink pen for 3 days, and then put battle for 2 days, and then put breathe, and then put, did I say?
Breathe, believe, battle.
Yeah, so put those words on your hand for 2 days for 2 of them and 3 days for another one. And just remind yourself, and it's super cool, because then you look at your hand, you're like, breathe, and then you go, and you breathe, Don't think that you're going to archive it and the iPhone reminds you, or put it in your iPhone, I guess.
Yeah.
But Kerri wrote joy on her hand in the Olympics in 2016, and it's pretty cool. You can use those little tricks.
It's helpful. We like to surround ourselves by that which we want. And joy was a great reminder for me. I take myself too seriously sometimes. So, it's helpful. Breathe, believe that.
Okay, ready for another one? I've heard, this is from E.S. Bordeaux. I've found it very hard to replicate the feeling, pressure, and intensity of playing in a tournament.
Yeah.
What's the best way you found to replicate that outside of playing an actual tournament?
It's a great question. It's near impossible. However, I can close my eyes and visualize a match, and my heart starts racing a little bit faster, and I get a little bit tight, and my breath gets restricted. So I think you can do a lot of visualization and just put yourself in there. Mental reps are just as powerful as physical reps. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So I think you can, visualize yourself in the situation and talk yourself and breathe yourself through it. I think that's very, very powerful. I'm a big advocate of competing or training how you want to compete. A lot of us kind of show up to competition and we're trying to be perfect and we're trying to do these things, but in reality, it's in training that you're encouraged to fail and you're encouraged to push the borders and the edges of your potential. And if you train your butt off, like if you're all watching The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he says he trained gnarlier than anyone, and the way he showed up every day in practice allowed him to be free in competition and more fearless. And I firmly believe there's a direct translation for how hard you train, how much you want it in training, and then to go into competition. You have reps. You have reps at the high level, high intensity. It's not new to you, if you train that way.
There's two sides to it. There's the person that can practice really, really good Monday through Thursday, and they're the best practice team in the world. They're the best team in the world Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes around, and they're deer in headlights. So there's something in there mentally that they're just like, oh, practice doesn't matter. No one's looking. There's nothing that I have to worry about. You have to treat that the same and somehow transfer it over into your games on Friday. But if I did, and people would say, dude, why don't you chill out? It's Monday. We're practicing. And I'm like, that's why you don't ever see Sunday. And I would get upset, but I'd be like, good. I'm glad they don't train as hard as me. I would put that same energy into a scrimmage loss and a defeat in practice. Some of my worst weeks of practices that were just terrible, but just worked as hard as I could. We won the tournament the next weekend, and it was just crazy. We're like, we had the worst practice week of all time. And then when we had those terrible practice weeks, but we can't copycat the feeling that you have before a game, but we can get worse. If you don't like snakes, or you don't like sharks, or you don't like water or heights, go ahead and tease yourself with one of those and give yourself the butterflies. And I think the best thing that you could do beyond, if you want to do those little deals, is when you go to a tournament, keep track of the way you feel and how you're handling it. Video yourself, see what you're doing and how your game looks, and then go back and say, okay, I need to work on this. I'm freaking out because my aunt was there, or my girlfriend's watching, or nobody's there and I don't really care, or I'm worried everyone's looking at me. Set a camera up, see how many people are looking at you, and I don't know, put yourself on a stage if you like that. Put yourself on an island if you like that, but keep trying to crack the egg is what I always say, by assessing what you're doing, what you don't like about what you're doing, and what you're doing well. Sound good?
Yeah, and I think last encouragement, I would say that in practice, make the drills competitive. Make them count for something, so there's a winner and a loser. And that way you'll get reps at that. And I think it's important to want to win every drill. You become your habits, and you can get in the habit of losing. You could also get in the habit of winning. So I think if you train yourselves and you're working to win every drill, that will help give you those mental reps too.
Okay, last question. This is from a few weeks ago, Randy Tagala.
Stokey?
Randy Tagala. What would be your top tip for a player moving from court to sand?
Have patience. Get in the sand and play. We were watching our boys just play volleyball, like the lowest level of club, just kind of exploratory volleyball, and it struck me that volleyball is a sport where a lot of people just don't go play for fun, and so therefore they don't have any instinctive moves about it, you know? And I think when you move from indoor to beach, you just assume that you're going to have these things down, but it's the nuances that are important. And you just need to go out there and play 6 against 6, 4 against 4, play 2 against 3.
Pepper.
Just
in
touch
the
the ball.
sand.
Yeah, more reps in the saddle, more time in the saddle is going to make you a beach player. But it doesn't come like that, and you have to be patient with yourself, because I was a big a-hole to myself when I made the transition, cried every day. I got there eventually. I'm still getting there, but you got to be patient, and you got to want it.
And indoor, make that small court with one of your buddies on your team and play that short court over the net and get 3 touches. 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're doing all 3 skills, and just play baby court on an indoor court and mess around. And anytime you can pepper or do things, there's a lot of things in our virtual camp that we're teaching that applies to that. So there's not one specific thing you can do besides what Kerri's saying, is go out there and get it done. How did you learn how to play indoor? That would be my question to you. And then go back and look at that and take it right to the beach. It's the ABCs, fundamentals, get those down and do, you know, when you're playing, ask people, should I be facing this way? What should I be doing? I've never done this. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I play indoor, I don't ever play beach. And you're like, well, you're on the beach now, we're playing it. So just go ahead and say you're a beach player now. Just dive right in. Don't use any excuse that I've only played beach 3 times in my life and all that stuff. Just go play, have fun.
Yeah.
There's no cameras.
And focus on the basics to start and forever, to be honest with you. Like, get your feet to the ball. Fall in love with the ball, you know, make it your best friend, take care of it, be smooth with your actions. These are all things I'm telling myself too, just so you know. But it's just what's going to make you great and able to transition faster is if you just focus on the fundamentals. And it takes about a month to get your sand legs, know that. And have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. So good luck. It's rad. It's a rad thing to try. So we're done, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You lead a good show, kid.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Appreciate it. We want to remind you guys to check out our camp, please, our virtual training camp. It truly is incredible. We would be mum about it if we didn't believe in it, but we believe in it with all our hearts. You know, Stein Metzger, again, he is the head of player development with 1440, the head coach of UCLA Beach, and our Brazilian coaches have put together the trainings, volleyball trainings, 4 days a week. So, Tommy Knox, our trainer for 20 years, does the 4-week strength block. Casey and I are leading the mindfulness training every day, and it's awesome. Whatever
I'm doing
you are.
the camera work and producing, so you don't see me that much, but you have Kerri. It's a mold of all of the things that we believe in, and that's why it's so fun to us.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most rewarding projects that we've ever done, just because you guys get a snapshot of all the beliefs, all the trainers, all the things that we've invested in for years and years and years, thousands and thousands of dollars that we have put into it. We are now giving it back in huge numbers. And it's the coolest thing is the testament of what we believe is a lot of people are putting it into action and showing us what they're getting out of it. I mean, literally, they are showing us everything, and it is so awesome. And we appreciate it if you guys are out there that are a part of it right now. Thank you so much. It's been one of the coolest things. Can't even tell you. So thank you.
P1440.camp. The next camp launches on Monday, May 11th. Hopefully we'll have you there. To the current campers, we love you. We appreciate you. Let's finish strong. We got a week and a half left. Peace out. Oh yeah.